This is Co-op Chronicles, episode 88, When the Internet Thinks It's Police. The waffle debacle. Welcome back to Co-op Chronicles. This is episode 88. I am Pint Size Geisha, and as always, I have Black Label.
Hello.
And Azalee.
Hello.
And today is...
When the internet thinks it's police.
When the internet thinks
Talking about
it's
some sleuth internets, some
the
of the cases that some helped and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good. What about you?
Pretty good.
good, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this sweater. It looks like something you would wear.
Oh, that is sick. Yeah.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
we have any PSAs, Geisha?
I do have a PSA, and this PSA is brought to you by my nurse. I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants me to share.
The nurse you work with, or
Mhm.
your
The nurse I work with. So she sits like right behind me. We're like back to back, right?
nice.
And I told her like, oh yeah, and my husband has a podcast, and I do like PSA sometimes, and because my last PSA was about the rowdy patient, right? And I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I did a PSA on that. Anyways, brought to you by my nurse.
Oh, she told you this?
Yeah, she's like, you should have a PSA about this. And I was like, let me write it down so I can remember. How the pharmacy works is
Oh, okay.
the provider sends a prescription. The pharmacy is then responsible to fill it, to work out insurance and how much it's going to cost. And then they give it to you. If your prescription comes with refills, the pharmacy is in charge of those refills. Not us.
Not the clinic.
Not the clinic, not the provider. We send it and then we don't worry about it because the pharmacy is then responsible to take care of it. When you request a refill, it goes to your pharmacy,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It goes to your pharmacy.
Yep.
Unless you have no more refills. And then most of the time with birth control pills, any prescriptions that are a year long, you need to come back in after a year.
Yeah.
How you're doing on your medication. Is it working? Any side effects? You still know the risks, benefits, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Don't call us or message us. Hey, is my prescription ready to pick up? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We get a ton of those
Yeah.
all the time. I need a refill. You have 3 refills at your pharmacy. Please call your pharmacy. Oh, well, they say I don't have a refill. Did you call? Did you ask? Yeah, I call them. She has 3 refills. Go back to the patient. You have refills.
Yeah.
Call. Ask. Figure it out.
Cool.
It's annoying.
Dude, you should have this talk with mom.
Yeah.
She's like literally every morning, 7 a.m. bright and early. She's on the phone screaming at whoever's on the other line, talk about her refills. She's like, last time she was talking about like a certain prescription that she gets, and she's like, they're supposed to be white, but you guys sent me blue ones.
Oh
And
my God.
I personally don't know the difference between the colors. Probably maybe like how strong they are. But she was like flipping out on them, and I was like, is it really their fault or is it your provider's fault? I don't know who sent in that decision.
Nope, it's the pharmacy's fault. So sometimes a provider or clinic will send in, hey, we want type A. This is the medication I'm prescribing. It's called type A. However, there's a little tiny note on the bottom that says, if you don't have type A, please use a generic. If insurance doesn't approve type A, please use generic. Please use whatever it's going to cost the least for the patient. So one time you might get type A, which are white, but then the pharmacy runs out of type A. So they give you something else that might be called type B, but the exact same thing, it's going to do the same thing. There's no difference between maybe the manufacturer.
Yeah, I don't know.
One
but she
manufacturer
gets
makes it
mad.
white and one manufacturer makes it blue.
I feel like mom's is like a Karen.
Yeah, she's like, I talked to my provider and they said it should be white. And I was like, yo, I don't know, but you need to stop yelling at them.
Yeah. The
Your
pharmacy.
third day probably already sucks.
They probably have to deal with a ton of you a day.
The pharmacy office probably ran out, so they gave her like a different type.
Mm.
It happens all the time, especially for birth control pills. You'll get 1 month you'll get type A, the next time you'll get
Yeah.
type C, and then type D, and then back to type A. It all does the same thing. It's just different manufacturers, different names.
Mm.
Yeah, it gets wild in our house.
Do you wanna?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about waffle debacle, or do you want to get into it?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Tell
Should
me
we
the
talk
wa-
about
I
waffle?
would like
Yeah,
to
as
hear
Lee wants
about
to hear
it.
the waffle
Yeah.
debacle.
I miss
So-
that on so much.
It was
We
just
have a
this
waffle
morning.
debacle.
It was
No,
this
it was
morning.
like the past 2 days. And this
Okay.
is why it became a debacle. So we go to the store, we buy milk, right? We buy 2 gallons of milk.
And don't say I chose it. It's what
did
they
choose
had,
it.
but it's what they had.
Okay, it's what they had. But I remember checking out and I was like, hey, babe, did you check the expiration date on this milk? It expires in like 10 days.
No, it was like 14 days. It was like 2 weeks.
It was pretty close. Anyways, and then so we buy 2 gallons of milk. It expires in 14 days, 2 weeks. But we also buy waffles because we have a lot of kids. Cereal and waffle. Pick
Mhm.
one, eat one. I don't care.
Mm.
And then all the kids just eat all the waffles.
They just eat all the waffles.
All the waffles, no cereal.
No cereal.
So 2 days ago, Black Label's like, we need to eat this milk. This milk is already drink this milk. It's expiring tomorrow. No more waffles. Everybody eat the cereal because we need to use the milk.
No more waffles.
No more waffles at all.
Yeah, you can. We literally wasted a whole gallon of milk.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and I was
That's
like,
when you make homemade waffles.
and I was like, I'm not telling them they can't eat waffles. I'm saying
No, you did.
No, I
Yes.
said we need to get
No.
we need to drink as much of this milk as we can.
No.
It's a waste.
You straight up said, no more waffles. Eat cereal.
Anyways, we had
It's a day old. Still eat cereal. It's 2 days old. Eat cereal.
we
no
had a
waffles.
big discussion about this.
So that is a waffle debacle.
Look, it's hard out there. You can't just be wasting milk.
It's true.
It
milk,
is, it's
milk
true.
is pretty expensive now.
It is. And I agree.
I just got a half gallon. It's like $2.50.
Yeah, I agree, right? But then we kind of got into it because I'm more of a lax parent. Like, I
No,
don't care.
you
Eat
used-
whatever.
Okay, she used to not be a
I used to not be, right? I used to not be. But, however, my oldest child went through a lot of stuff. And I understood how I was uptight and wound up and letting my emotions kind of interfere with my parenting, right? And she had made some comments. My son had made some comments. And then that's when I'm like, you know what? I am kind of wound up tight as a parent. I need to relax. I need to kind of chill out a little bit. And I've become relaxed as a parent.
And I have brought up some comments, but you have not been relaxed as a partner. You just yell at me about the waffle debacle.
Because you don't remember what you say.
It is
You
true,
just
but
gotta carry around a recorder.
Yes. And then I call you out on what you say, and you're like, did I say that? I'm like, yes, you did say that. And then you're like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Mm.
Yes, I did.
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the waffle debacle.
But it was like it was like an hour long waffle debacle.
To be fair, I'm kind of on the kids' side because I go through instances where I'm like, man, I really want cereal, and
Yeah.
then there's instances where I'm like, ooh, I could really go for a waffle.
But
Yeah.
we can mix it up.
No,
Yeah.
you can't.
You can. You
I'm
can
sorry.
get waffles one day and
No,
cereal the next day.
I can't.
You can't just
I'm
waffle,
definitely-
waffle, waffle, waffle,
Yes, you
waffle,
can.
waffle, waffle.
People do it all the time.
Yeah, see? I'm
All
not
right.
going to tell.
I'm not gonna argue
I'm one
with
of
you
those
guys.
people, man. I'm so sorry.
This waffle debacle is becoming.
Dude, I could eat.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like, I'm not going to tell my kids, no, you cannot eat cereal. You can only, or you cannot eat the waffles. Don't touch the waffles until all the cereal's gone. No, it's just like, eat what you want to
Like,
eat.
what kind of cereal is it though?
Chocolate pebbles.
Oh.
No, it's
then-
like the off-brand, the one that comes in
It's
the bag.
the same
still-
damn
yeah, it's
thing.
still the
It's
same
the same
thing.
thing. And then
'Cause I get
Captain
off-brand too.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know?
I love Captain Crunch though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just went through a whole thing about eating the peanut butter cereal.
Yeah.
Reese's, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm like, ooh, I don't even want cereal
Yeah, I
for like
can't-
2
I
weeks.
can't
Yeah,
do that. I
see,
can only
sometimes you just want, and before we've been buying waffles maybe for like 4 or 5 months now. Before that, all that we got was cereal. So they've been eating cereal for years, and now they have waffles. It's like, yeah, give me a waffle. But I do want to say, yes, it's bad to waste food. I understand, and we shouldn't be wasting food, but me, it's like I there's nothing I can do. It's old, it expires. I have to fucking waste it. What am I gonna do?
Make eggs. Make the waffle.
They don't
Nobody
like
likes
eggs.
eggs.
Well, the
We don't
girls
even
like
buy
eggs.
eggs.
The girls like eggs. I like eggs.
My kids,
like
they're just
scrambled. You
eggs.
can do.
I hate eggs.
Or you make French toast
Yeah,
with you use milk.
and eggs.
Yeah. But our cats eat our bread.
Anyways, let's get into it.
Anyways.
We're sidetracking off of the.
That's why I said waffle. This episode is all about the waffle debacle.
No, it's not. We're gonna get into it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to talk about the era of the armchair detectives. All right, so there was a time when true crime meant watching a documentary, sitting back, and moving on with your life. I mean, we do that right now. Now it's like there's Reddit just posts straight about it. You could check TikTok about cases, reading comments threads from people who are absolutely convinced they have figured out everything before the law enforcement has even finished a press conference. And somewhere along the way, we stopped just consuming crime stories and we started trying to solve them. A lot of people have. And I'll be honest, I've caught myself doing it sometimes. I know Geisha done it sometimes. Like we'll watch something and we're like, this is who it is. This is who did it. I know we had one episode where Asley and
The
Geisha were,
Tylenol guy.
yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, we solved it.
We fucking solved it.
And you read a thread, someone connects the dots, someone zooms in on blurry frames, someone pulls up an old social media post, and suddenly you feel like, yeah, I'm in this. I got this, like you're helping, like you see something that other people have missed. And because like 15 or 20 years ago, if a crime happened, we got updates through news, broadcasts, and newspapers. It's not like how it is now. Information was very filtered. It was very paced back then. It was very limited on what you were able to get. And nowadays, you can look up body cam footage, court documents in real time, dash cam videos, ring cameras. Like, there's so many things out there that helps with cases and that people have access to. And it's almost like justice has become interactive. It's like you know what I mean? Like, people, like, they're in it.
I feel like because we do that because we feel like sometimes the system fails, right? So we're like, all right, it's our job. We can do this. We got it.
Yeah. No, that's true though. There's some cases that I'm gonna mention that were solved by people on the internet, and thousands and sometimes millions of people are analyzing the same thing at the same time, and it almost feels like justice, like I said, has become interactive. But here's where I think things get a little uneasy sometimes. Just because we analyze something doesn't mean that we should sometimes. There's a line between curiosity and participation, and I think that line has gotten blurry. What makes it even more complicated is how algorithms award confidence in a way. The louder the theory, the more it spreads. And the more dramatic the claim, the more engagement it gets. So kind of blows up on TikTok or whatever and feeds. They go viral, and people are like, oh, this is what the case isn't telling you. This is blah, blah, blah. Like the Amber Heard case. That shit was blowing up on TikTok. And that's kind of stuff changes the tone. And, we want justice. We want people to come together and solve stuff. But sometimes it's bad. And I have one case on here where it was bad for the person that was accused and kind of ruined their life, and it wasn't that person. You know what I mean? So when you guys see a viral thread online, or when you guys watch something, do you guys feel pulled in, or do you guys feel uncomfortable watching what people speculate, or do you kind of agree with them sometimes?
I guess it depends on like if I see the same thing they see. Otherwise, I'm just like, I think you guys are wrong. I keep all of this inside. It's internal thoughts. I never post it, but I do have to like watch it, or I have to like look into it. I can't just agree.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
What you got over there? What you snacking on?
My snacks.
Oh, I ate all mine.
That sucks.
If a case went viral tomorrow, would you want to follow it closely, or would you rather stay out of it completely?
I probably would stay out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of get into it.
I will watch it and like get into it in my own like private setting, but I wouldn't like post online or like go down the deep end kind of situation. I'll just kind of let it unfold and see what happens. Okay. I like watching like this type of stuff afterwards, like the Netflix documentary, like Don't Mess with Cats. Very interesting.
That's one I'm about to talk about.
Yeah, very, very interesting, but I wouldn't necessarily be a part of it. I would follow it, but not like put myself out there.
Babe, look at Mochi.
I know. Our cats are obsessed with Azzy's feet.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the case that proved it could work. So before we talk about some of the disasters that I want to mention, we have to acknowledge something uncomfortable. So there was a thing about Luka Magnotta, the don't fuck around with cats, whatever. There was a moment when the internet actually tracked down a killer before the authorities did. So back in 2010, there's a disturbing case of videos that started circulating online. It was like an anonymous accounts and shit. And it was like uploading graphic videos of harming cats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. Some of them are very shocking, very bad.
Ew.
Yeah.
This guy's name was Luka Magnotta. And yeah, like I said, you could look up the Netflix documentary on it. It's like Don't Fuck Around Cats or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of scrolling past it, a group of people decided to do something. Not law enforcement, not journalists, just a bunch of regular internet people. They formed a Facebook group. They started analyzing the videos frame by frame, background objects, wall outlets, vacuum cleaners, even cigarette packs that were visible in the footage. And this is the part that kind of gets wild. They weren't just guessing, they were mapping out where this person was. They were making track timestamps, compared lighting, cross-reference social media accounts, followed digital breadcrumbs. They were really in it. They identified Luka long before his name was even internationally known.
Good.
Now here's where it becomes a little complicated, because at that stage the crimes were escalating. Eventually in 2012, Magnotta murdered June Lin and fled internationally. But those same online investigators had been sounding alarms about him way before this crime even happened. And that's the uncomfortable part, because in this case, the internet wasn't inventing a villain. They were tracking the one down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, like, part of me finds that really impressive, because the level of detail, the collective intelligence, the persistence of like these people,
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to, I don't know. It's hard not to respect raw problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very bad at problem solving. I'm really good at like not crossword puzzles, word searches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think when it comes to like this type of stuff, it's pretty cool.
I like how people just know that it's like a super red flag if you're like harming animals.
Yeah.
That the next step would just
Mhm.
be harming humans.
Yeah.
I love people. I love that because everybody knows.
Yeah,
We
like-
just know that we're just like not good as a
I mean,
race.
why are you gonna harm a cat
as
or
a
a dog?
species?
Yeah.
We're just not good.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys, when you hear about a case like this, does it make you impressed about the collective effort, or a little uneasy about crowd acting like investigators?
Nah, we cool.
Yeah.
I feel like
For like this type of case, right?
yeah, like go ahead.
No, I
Especially
agree.
if it's leading to something, you know,
Mhm.
and it's based off of facts and like information and not just out of the blue,
Yeah.
you know.
It was impressive. If you watch the documentary on this,
Yeah.
it's like really impressive how they put everything together and
Yeah.
caught this guy.
It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I like it. People banding together for a good because
Mhm.
instead of a bad one. You
Yeah.
know.
So this is the next one is going to be about when the internet got it wrong. So in April 2013, the Boston Marathon bombing shocked the entire country. Explosions at the finish line, chaos, fear, national coverage. It was huge. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And within hours, the internet started investigating. Reddit threads exploded. Users zoomed into photos, analyzed backpacks, circled faces. They compared timestamps. It was very urgent for these people, and they were like very collectively determined to solve who this person was. Like, we're not just going to sit back and wait for the police to do their job. We're going to solve things. We're going to unravel it. Yeah, and Reddit users began identifying potential suspects based on public pictures and available photographs. And one name spread really quickly. I can't pronounce this name. It's like Sunil Tripathi. He was a missing student. He wasn't a suspect. He had no involvement in the bombing, but his name went viral anyways. And online threads labeled him. Images circulated, accusations amplified, and before corrections could catch up, his family was dragged into this. And so just like imagine for a second, you're already dealing with the disappearance of a loved one, and suddenly the internet decides he's a terrorist, and it's kind of bad. It's not like speculation in a private room. It's like it's on the internet. It's global amplification. You know, everybody can see what you're saying, and like digital curiosity can turn into digital harm.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually the FBI released the actual suspects. Authorities made the arrests, but the damage to this guy's family was already bad. It couldn't be undone.
Yeah.
And here's the hard truth is like the people posting weren't trying to hurt anyone. They were really trying to help. They thought they were helping.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when things get a little complicated because it wasn't malicious. It was just misdirected confidence and the speed it was speed over verification. They didn't know anything, you know. It was algorithm, urgency, ego, and this is where I personally get a little uncomfortable when this type of stuff happens because like when thousands of people move in the same direction, obviously it's going to be powerful. But power without guardrails becomes like a mob, you know.
Mm-hmm. Like mob mentality.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I think it's good when people investigate, like individual people coming together to investigate, but you can't just like throw out names nilly willy, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like if you Because, like, so all of that is going to turn it viral, right?
Mhm.
So you could be sending out that message to the right person who will eventually know the person or know something,
Mhm.
and they can reach out to the authorities. But when everyone just automatically assumes, that's when
Mhm.
it gets bad.
Yeah.
So you just got to reach the audience with
'Cause
facts.
you could say I have my suspicions.
Yeah.
You know.
Or you could just be like, hey, I think I know that person. They're so
Mhm.
and so, blah, blah, blah. Or, I don't know. Just like, you don't need to put blame, but you need to send the message.
Yeah. So once a name spreads, it sticks, even after it's proven wrong. So now we have two realities sitting side by side. It's like in one case, the internet tracked a real criminal. In another, it publicly accused an innocent person. I mean, it's like the same thing, same tool, but just different outcomes. And that's where like the tension, it gets a little crazy, and we can't ignore it.
Also, people have doppelgangers.
Yeah.
So this is where you can't put names out there.
Yeah. Some people look alike.
Yeah, like like when I was in like the 3rd grade, I had a pen pal that was in a different country, and people swore we looked very like
Really?
identical. Yeah, it was crazy. Like we had the same build, same hair, same facial structure. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, John, he sent me a clip of something. It was like on TikTok, and he was like, "This dude." No, it was like I don't know if it was like a clip or if it was like he took a picture of somebody, and he sent it to me. He's like, "Bro, I thought this was you," and it kind of looked like me. I mean, I'm more handsome, but it looked like me though. Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about when crime became viral content. All right. So if the Boston case showed you how fast speculation can spread, this is another Netflix one. The case of Gabby. What is it?
Oh,
Petito?
Petito.
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 Petito. Petito.
Yeah.
I watched that one too.
Yeah. It showed how crime can be like very like algorithms can amplify it in real time. So in 2021, Gabby and her fiance Bryan Laundrie were documenting their van life trip across the United States. They had Instagram posts, YouTube vlogs. They curated smiles pretty much, and then she disappeared. And what happened next wasn't just media coverage; it was like internet immersion. Like TikTok users began analyzing the body cam footage from that one stop at the police station or
On the side of the road.
on the side of the road
Yep.
where he was talking to her, and people broke down the tone, posture, facial expressions. Others tracked timelines through Instagram captions. Someone reviewed the travel footage, noticing that their van parked in the background of another YouTube video. And that particular clip captured by another traveler helped narrow down the search area. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody called the cops because they seen them arguing on the side of the road.
Oh
right?
yeah. So
So they weren't stopped. It was like a
no.
pedestrian saw it, right?
Right. So what happened was, if I remember correctly, it's been kind of a while. They were in the town, right, and they were fighting in town, and I think a pedestrian called because they were being loud and fighting, and he slapped her
Oh,
and
that's
called
right.
the cops and was like, "Hey, this couple is fighting." He slapped her like on the side of the street, but then they got in the van and they took off. And the caller was like, "This is what the van looks like. This is the last time I saw them."
Mhm.
And then I think the cops caught up to the van and pulled them over on the side of the street.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw it, but I
Yeah.
think it started in town.
No, I think you might be right. And then, yeah, public footage became evidence. Crowdsourced visibility kept the case front and center. But there was like complexity when it comes in. It's like, was that justice through collective awareness, or was it tragedy turned into a viral engagement? Because at the same time, people were genuinely trying to help. Millions were consuming it like an episodic episode or content. Every update was a cliffhanger. Every press conference was dissected live. Every new detail became trending audio. It was like, I don't know. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. I felt like uncomfortable right here too, because there's a fine line between caring and consuming. And I feel like the internet doesn't just spread awareness, it monetizes attention. Sometimes, like, when crimes become content, that line gets thin really fast. Like, it's a
Yeah.
crime.
Yeah.
Now, to be clear, this case also showed how public attention can accelerate visibility. I mean, the search efforts for this case expanded. Information moved way more quicker, sorry. And authorities received a lot of tips. But it also shows something else. Is like when millions are watching in real time, speculation doesn't slow down. It kind of speeds up, and the intensity changes how we process tragedy. It becomes immediate and interactive and relentless. And this wasn't just like a case people followed. It was like a case people felt involved in. And that's kind of very powerful in a way. I mean, but it can also blur empathy. because it is sad. It's very tragic, and all this stuff is trending, but it's like it's a sad thing that really did happen, you know. Do you guys think viral attention in cases like this can help more than it harms, or is it a double-edged sword?
I think it could be double-edged to
Yeah.
me, because I feel like a lot of eyes on something is helpful, but at the same time, I think a lot of eyes on one case is helpful, right? And maybe the police or anybody involved, detectives and stuff like that, could take those tips and run with it, right? But if a lot of eyes on the internet are not factual based, not based off of like clues and actual like physical evidence, then it becomes very hard and very muddled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I think it depends.
Okay, what do you think, Az?
I think double edged also,
Yeah.
but yeah, for all the same reasons. I think because in all everyone's minds, we all think we're helping, but at the end of the day, we might be harming.
Yeah, exactly. So the frenzy before the facts, okay? So if the Petito case showed how the internet can amplify visibility, the Idaho murders, which just happened recently too, a couple years ago, 2022 or something like that. I don't know if you guys heard about that one.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
I think the guy was like, he went to Washington State University too, or something like that. I think his name's Brandon or Bryan Kohberger or something.
It's the one in the house party, right?
I don't think it was a house party. He just went there and he stabbed a couple people or something, 4 people.
Right, but they're all in the house.
Yeah, but it wasn't a party.
I don't know for sure, but I know that it was in a house.
It wasn't a house party. So like in 2022, 4 university students of Idaho were found murdered in their off-campus home. The case immediately exploded online before an arrest, before official timelines were released, before verified suspects were named. Reddit threads multiplied by the hour. People were mapping floor plans, breaking down food truck footage, tracking social media followers, naming persons of interest. And I remember watching it in full thinking like, this feels like a live courtroom being built in the comment section. So when Bryan Kohberger was eventually arrested, many online communities felt validated. But here's the part where we don't always talk about is like dozens of innocent people had already been accused weeks before this, like friends, neighbors, classmates. Screenshots circulated, theories solidified, reputations were really dragged into public suspicion. And most of these people will never get the same algorithmic reach that cleared their name. Like, so like everything that blown up to make them look like suspects is not going to be the same to justify their innocence, you know?
Yeah.
And when there's a vacuum of information that fills it, of the internet, it's really hard. Not because people are evil, but because uncertainty is uncomfortable. We want resolution. We want to clarify. We want a villain. And so we build one, even if we don't really have one. And I get some of that urge, but the speed of, I guess, digital certainty can outrun reality. So the Idaho case is still going through the legal system. Evidence matters, process matters, but the internet doesn't wait for the process. It moves at a speed of engagement. And this is where we have to pause, because even if it's the right suspect eventually gets arrested or whatever, the damage for the people that are being guessed, it's going to stay with them. And it's kind of rough. And the crowd rarely circles back to clean up what they spread in the first place. Yeah. I don't know. That's my thought on that. Do you guys think online communities genuinely believe they're helping in moments like this, or do you think it becomes entertainment to some people, like a reality show at some point?
I think most people are trying to be helpful, but a lot of people are just trolls.
Yeah, and they try to try to hop on the hype train.
Yeah, like they like to just instigate. So it's really hard to say. I feel like majority people feel like they're helping.
Yeah.
But you do have like that 10-20% of just people being mean.
Yeah. If you live near a high profile case that just happened like down our street, you know, how would you feel knowing strangers online might be analyzing your social media, or you, if you did it, or you might have done it because you live close by?
There's nothing on my social media. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay.
I haven't posted
dare
in the
you.
past year, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could feel like kind of like, whoa, like back up. I have nothing to do with this. It just so happens to be on my street. Why are
Mhm.
you all up on my business?
Yeah.
So I can kind of see both sides, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. So now I want to talk about why we want to solve it, like why we want that validation. Because we decide whether internet sleuthing is good or bad, we have to ask something more honest is why are we drawn to it in the first place? Because this isn't just random behavior. This isn't just boredom. There's something psychologically happening when a crime unfolds publicly, especially one that feels chaotic or senseless. It creates like discomfort, uncertainty, fear, lack of control, and humans don't like that. We like patterns. We like explanations. We like narratives that make us understand things and make things feel contained. Like you look at the Stranger Things last episode, nobody liked that because they didn't, nothing was explained. You know? So when the internet gives us tools, timelines, footage, documents, social media trails, it feels like we're regaining control. It feels like if I understand this, it's less scary. Kind of like how I watch or read the end of a movie because it makes me feel less scared.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I know
It's so annoying.
I know it's going to be less scary because I understand what's happening.
Like literally, we'll start a movie and he'll be like, I'm going to see how it's end. Like, no, don't look at how it ends.
Yeah.
Just watch it.
Sorry, speaking of movie, have you guys watched the Thursday Murder Club?
No.
Oh, yeah, we
Oh
did.
wait, yeah,
Yeah.
no, we
With the
did.
old-
Okay, okay.
With the older couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old group.
It was
the
good.
old
Yeah.
home.
It was good.
It's pretty
I
good.
love that movie.
Yeah. And I'll be real. Like, I think that's the part of why true crime is big in general. It gives us structure to chaos. But internet investigations add something else, participation. It's no longer like I'm listening to the story. It's more like, oh, I'm commenting. Oh, I'm theorizing. I'm letting people know that I'm zooming in on this person and I'm
Mhm.
connecting dots.
Mhm.
And then, and that's where participation kind of feels like empowering. I mean, you could say that for a lot of things. It feels useful, but this is where I get a little reflective is like, are we participating because we care or are we participating because it
Be
makes
a-
us feel smart
Yeah,
or
to be a trend,
like
Yeah.
are we doing it because
or like go viral.
exactly like when you post a theory and people reply and they're like, oh, that makes sense. It feels very validating. It's like when your comments or like your post gets traction, it feels very important and the algorithm rewards that. The more confident you sound, the more attention you get, not the more accurate, the more confident, it's very dangerous.
Do tip lines still exist?
I
Is that
think
a
Think
thing?
so. Think
Yeah.
so. Kind of like where they do the whole, like, you get money if you give whatever.
Oh,
Like a
is that
reward.
oh, you get a reward for that?
Yeah.
If it
Well,
like pays off?
Yeah.
So I heard
Yeah.
that
Oh.
in order to collect the reward too, you can't call the cops with your thing. You have to call the actual, like, what is it? Like
Tip line?
the tip line, but it's like something else. Kind of like how
like
they used to have the old
non-emergency?
the one show where the guy was
America's
like,
Most Wanted.
yeah, America's Most Wanted. It's like you have to call something like that in order to get the reward.
Oh.
Yeah, and it has to lead to like an arrest.
Arrest, yeah.
It can't just be like, oh, I saw them here. Okay, here's 20,000
Yeah.
Yeah.
type of situation.
Fascinating.
Yep. And
Yeah, it's all about the bag now.
yeah, it's not always about justice. Yeah, sometimes it's about the identity or the reward because the one who's spotting the clue or the one being the one participated into the arrest or the one who knew it all along, it makes you like your ego. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I helped that. And I think that's a real thing. Now, I'm not saying everyone who follows a case is chasing clout. I don't believe that. It's far from it. I think a lot of people genuinely care because that's just how we are made. Like people care about things. A lot of people want justice, but they want accountability as well. They want a resolution. But the internet doesn't separate motive. It sometimes amplifies the engagement, and that's where things get a little complicated because the desire to solve something is human, like I said, but the scale at which we do it now is extremely unprecedented. Sorry. There's so many people involved now. The internet is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Do you guys think people join investigations mostly out of empathy or out of curiosity?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
I mean, it could be both.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe it's just like I'm bored and let's kind of jump on this bandwagon.
But I want justice. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
type of
See,
situation.
I would
don't
love
know.
to think that justice is the first thing that pops into people's minds, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually people nowadays kind of want the attention.
That sounds
Mhm.
quite pessimistic, but I think it's true. Based off of like things that I see on the internet nowadays,
Mhm.
that's where I'm leading.
Yeah. So I know, I don't know. I'm not trying to be preachy. So the damage that doesn't trend, here's the part where things that rarely go viral is like when the internet gets it wrong. That never goes viral. The corrections doesn't travel as far as the accusations. We've already talked about Sunil Tripathi, but that pattern repeats itself a lot in smaller, quieter cases all the time. Someone gets misidentified, someone's name trends for the wrong reason, someone's old photo gets pulled into a thread and gets dissected. I remember watching this one case recently. It was on that chapter. It was about a man and his they had an argument. Him and his partner had an argument, and she left and went for a walk or something, and then she didn't come back. And they started, because he's the one that called it in, saying, "Hey, like she's missing, blah blah blah." And they accused him, and I think he got arrested and was like put in jail for a while. But then they finally found like her body, or they found some evidence that led to a different person, and it was like this guy's life's already ruined because of what they did.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but they accused him of murdering his partner and all this stuff, and his name was dragged into the mud. It kind of sucks,
He can turn around and just sue him though.
Yeah.
Can he?
I don't know. Probably.
For false imprisonment.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens a lot though.
Yeah. But I feel like even if that mistake gets corrected, the screenshots live forever, the time served is forever. And that's the thing about internet. It really doesn't forgive. And an innocent person doesn't just deal with one bad day of rumors. They deal with history. Like you could search it up now. It's like on Google, when they try to get a job, potential employers are like, nah, or whatever, strangers finding archive threads about this person, and they start thinking like, oh, this person's a horrible person. And I feel like that's the part that makes a lot of this stuff unsettling, is most online investigators don't intend harm. They're not thinking about it. They're not thinking like, oh, I'm gonna ruin this person's life. They're thinking about like, I'm going to solve this, and I think this should be shared. And I think that's the gap between intention and impact, is where the damage lives. And this is where I personally start slowing down, is because the speed of digital accusations is very terrifying. Thousands of people can collectively decide something feels true, and before it's actually verified, the momentum of that builds and that person's life is ruined, and nobody will admit that they're wrong. And even if it does, they do admit it, especially it's not going to happen like publicly, So silence replaces correction, obviously, and the person who was wrongly accused is left carrying the weight, and their life is kind of ruined. And there's also another layer we don't talk about, is like the family of that person being accused is like,
Yeah.
you
gotta think about like kids. 'Cause
Yeah.
Kids are brutal. So if you're associated with somebody who was accused, even though it wasn't them, like kids can be really mean.
Yeah, and you like imagine grieving a loved one while watching strangers debate their private life online, like saying, like, this is the person. They're judging their behavior. They're analyzing all their texts, and they're speculating about motives. And I feel like that's not really investigation. That's kind of like exposure, and sometimes that can be very brutal. I'm not saying like the public shouldn't care about crime, but public awareness actually does matter. But there's a difference between awareness and digital cross-examination, and I think sometimes we cross that line without realizing it, because it feels distant, feels like content, until you imagine that shit happening to you or someone that you loved, and suddenly that energy starts changing. You know what I mean? Do you guys think if the internet should have stronger guardrails against naming private individuals, or is that impossible to enforce?
Yeah, you can't.
It would be
enforce that.
impossible to
Yeah.
enforce. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the internet should have a lot of things done to it, but it's impossible to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
they
like people always argue like, oh, public speech, freedom of speech, blah
Mhm.
blah. Because you
Yeah.
see videos all the time of like, they'll show a clip of like an arrest or something, and somebody will be like, oh, I know that guy, he goes to my school or something, or they'll like name drop
Yeah.
them, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, you don't even know if that's actually them.
Yeah, have you
I
ever
can't trust you. You're not a trustable source.
Yeah, have you ever seen those posts too? Like if something bad, I see it all the time happening. It's like there's like a criminal or somebody that's a suspect, and there was like a Reddit thread. And they're like, yeah, I went to this person's school back when we were blah blah, and this person was really weird. It's like, I don't even know you. How do I even know if what you're saying is true?
You're not credible.
Yeah, I don't know
Go
who you
away.
are. You just made this account 4 hours ago. Sir. I don't know who you are.
I need pics or it never happened.
Yeah. Babe,
Yeah.
if your name was pulled into an online theory, and you can't just say, I don't care, even briefly, though, how would you think it would affect you in the family?
Then it depends on what circumstances. Like, I did it.
Mm-hmm. No, just like an online theory.
I don't know. It depends.
Like if it was like your name was brought into like a serious crime and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So don't say it depends. What are you planning on doing something? What are you...
No, I'm just saying, like, if it was like, oh.
Just answer the question
It
instead
depends, because if it was like, oh, she was a witness, and if I was a witness, I'd be like, yeah, this is what I saw.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
But
I'm referring to as
exactly.
you a suspect. And
Yeah,
how do you
that's
think?
why I asked you. It depends. If I was a suspect and I didn't do it, I probably wouldn't say anything, because if I say anything, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. It's going to incriminate me more. The police are going to be on my booty cheeks. And I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah,
I talked to the police. This is what I said. This is what I know. It's up to the police to decide whether I'm guilty or not guilty, not the public. Based off of facts. Well, the public is not always based off of facts.
Okay,
It's not the public's job to investigate the facts. It's the police job to investigate the facts. So I would just not saying nothing, no comment to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I will put my trust in the justice system.
Okay. So help or just noise? So here's the honest question. Does the internet actually help solve crimes, or does it mostly create chaos that investigators have to filter through? Because here's the truth. Law enforcement absolutely uses public tips. They've always relied on witnesses, community reports, and public information. The difference now is the scale. When a case goes viral, tip lines don't get 10 calls. They get thousands of calls, sometimes tens of thousands of calls. And not all real tips are equal. Some are useful, some are repetitive, some are pure speculation, and some are conspiracy level noises. And not all, sorry. What you want?
Okay. You want a waffle? Have a waffle.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Go ahead, Bebe.
Anyways, all that stuff can create a new problem. Like investigators now have to sort through digital volumes at a scale that never existed before, and that takes time, that takes manpower, that takes resources.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about how big a task force is. They're probably not built to handle thousands and thousands of stuff like that. But at the same time, there absolutely have been cases where public footage, digital breadcrumbs, and online sharing accelerated the progress.
Yeah. Remember back in the day when it was like the commercials, and then it was like just a room full of phones, and there was like a gajillion people, and each person had a phone, and they pick it up, write it down,
Oh yeah.
pick it up, write it down. Can you imagine? I'm sure that's not how it's done today. There's probably something like an AI or something that helps, but back in the day, it was like a room full of people, and then you could call in and give a donation or call in and get a tip line. But it was literally everybody had a phone, and they had to pick it up, write everything down by hand, and then just keep going all day.
Do you remember, obviously, people that are probably listening are our age or a little younger, but like you remember like the phone systems where they had the wall and they had to like post the jacks and shit? Could you imagine if that was like nowadays with everybody having cell phones? The amount of people that you would need to.
I don't even logically know how that works. Like you call in, you're like, connect me to this person, and they're just like, okay, I take this plug and I put it over here.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Ethernet port. It like connects it to that. I would say it's not like an IP, but it would connect to that port.
Right, but it's like, did every household have a port? Like this is the Johnson house, like with a little label, and like Smith wants to talk to Johnson, and you put like Smith to
I don't
Johnson.
know how
I
it
think it
worked.
was more like business.
Yeah, it's probably like companies.
Not home.
Yeah, it was probably companies where they're like.
So all the companies probably had like a system that they used.
Kind of like how like we have extensions.
Yeah,
it would be like
probably
something like that.
extension.
Yeah, I do remember like back in the day, you could just be like 411. Hey, I need the number for this person, and they'd be like, here's the phone number.
Yeah,
like it was that easy to get somebody's phone number.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
a thing.
It was
Yeah.
a thing, yeah.
You could dial
Crazy.
411. I need the phone number for Jonathan Skywalker. And they'll be like, this is their phone number.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thanks.
And now you think about how
That's
unsafe that shit
wild.
is
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Again, investigators have to. They were not built for that sort of digital volume.
I mean, to be
Um,
fair, we still have stuff like that. You just have to pay for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But at least you have to pay for it. Back in the day, it was completely free. And like the phone books, you just look through them and find everybody's
Oh,
phone number.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's phone number in the city.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
But yeah, like I was saying, there's absolutely been cases where a lot of this stuff has helped and accelerated the progress in them, like surveillance clips, license plate sightings, location clues, archive posts. The internet is very good at preserving digital history,
Yeah.
and criminals often underestimate that. So here's the reality: the internet definitely can help, but it
Mhm.
also can overwhelm. And I think that's where the nuance lives, is that it's not that crowdsourcing justice is inherently bad. It's just that crowdsourcing without structure becomes very unpredictable. When information is directed properly through tip lines, official channels, verified leads, it's very useful. When information spreads through comment sections and speculation threads like Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, it's very uncontrolled, and uncontrolled information moves faster than verification. And that's where tension lives or is. It's not like the internet's good versus internet's bad. It's like signal versus noise. And the louder the environment, the harder it is to separate the two. And I think that's where I land personally, is like, I don't think public awareness is the enemy. I think that unfiltered amplification is very bad. And the difference between helping and performing help is like, there's a line. And I think the internet blurs that line, blurs that line constantly. So, do you guys think large online communities actually improve investigations, or do you think they make them more complicated? I mean, even you guys listening, let us know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think it's a little bit of, I think, again,
It's
depends
both,
on the
right?
situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
Like for that, don't mess with cats, great. On
Mhm.
it. Factual based.
Yeah.
Off of some other ones, not so factual based, just kind of lots of name calling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Esley, if you discovered what looked like a major clue online, would you post it publicly or would you send it privately to the authorities?
Privately.
Privately.
But also, I'm not somebody who makes money off of the internet.
That's true. You're not
Or
like
I'm not looking to make money off
creator,
the internet.
yeah.
You know, so I don't care for the internet to know. My
Mhm.
main concern is, as a good citizen who wants justice to be served or like something to be helpful, I would just contact the police.
Yeah.
But not everybody thinks that way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Word.
people think about money nowadays,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So let's talk about the future of digital justice, okay? If what we're seeing now feels intense, we haven't even reached the ceiling yet, because the internet investigating crimes isn't just a trend. It's like becoming a real thing. It's merging with technology in ways that make it permanent. Think about where this is headed, okay? We obviously have AI, and that's going to enhance blurry footage images in seconds. Facial reconstruction tools becoming more accessible. Public access to live courtroom streams is crazy. Crowdsourced data mapping is becoming a big thing. We're entering an era of digital information moves faster than official information or confirmation. And I think that's going to change everything. In the past, investigations unfolded behind closed doors. Updates where deliberate information was paced. But now, like, people, they expect transparency immediately. If authorities don't release details quickly, speculations fill the gap, and the gap is starting to shrink. What happens when AI can scan thousands of faces from a protest of an event in minutes? What happens when digital sleuth communities combine machine learning tools with collective manpower? Like, you have to think, like, what happens when amateur analysts start looking like you can't tell if they're professional or not? It's getting crazy, and it's not like science fiction. Like, a lot of this stuff is really happening already, just very limitedly, right? Limitedly. And And here's where I start asking big questions: is that this evolution of civic involvement, or is this escalation? Because on one hand, technology, I don't know, it demoralize or not demoralizes, it intensifies like information, and on the other hand, it removes friction. And friction is sometimes what protects people. It slows the rumors, the accusations, allows verification. But when all that stuff disappears and speed really isn't always accurate sometimes, obviously you want to do things correctly, and sometimes speeding or rushing it makes it not good correctly, messy, But yeah, I'm cautious about where the world injustice becomes like spectator sport in real time. Like it's getting to the point where once digital culture normalizes crowd investigations, there's not gonna be an Uno reverse card. It's not gonna go back. It's gonna keep moving on, keeping on,
Keep chugging on.
Yep. Do you guys think that technology will make investigations more transparent and fair, or more chaotic?
Definitely more chaotic, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think in digital technology and stuff's gonna help more, in my opinion. But I guess it's just how you look at it. Yeah. As digital tools become more powerful, where should public draw the line between awareness and interference?
I think it all comes down to posting it on social media.
Yeah.
You don't need to share. Like, the information is already out there, provided by the actual police department.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to keep making videos and spreading more word about it, because you technically know less than the police.
For real, though.
So if you want to genuinely be helpful, then, talk directly to the police. But yeah, I don't think that we should resort to social media for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like the word is already out there.
Yeah.
Trust me, the police got social media too.
That is true. I follow.
They got it covered.
I follow Pierce County Sheriff.
I'm pretty sure everybody will see their page before they see your page.
Yeah.
So just like chill.
All right.
There's this fire department social media. I don't know where it is. I don't think it's in Washington State, but they're so funny. They posted one for Valentine's Day, and they're like, if Valentine's Day is coming up and your ex and you broke up, don't set their house on fire. Type of situation.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty funny.
All right. For our last segment, we're going to talk about curiosity, responsibility, and the line. So after everything we've talked about tonight, or not tonight, today, the success stories, the disasters, the psychology, the future of AI and digital application, here's what I keep coming back to: is curiosity isn't wrong. Wanting justice isn't wrong. Caring about victims is not wrong. But participation carries weight. And the internet has made participation frictionless. We can comment instantly, share instantly, accuse instantly, speculate instantly. And sometimes that speed feels empowering. But again, speed without guardrails and without, precise just knowing the facts, it's not good. And sometimes we have to add ourselves to that, because here's the truth, okay? The internet didn't decide to become investigative. We did. We're the ones that click everything. We're the ones that keep sharing. We're the ones that amplify everything that's happening. And that means we're also responsibility for how far something spreads. And I'm not saying we shouldn't never follow a case. I'm not saying awareness is very bad. Some cases that have absolutely benefited from public attention. Again, the Magnotta or whatever his name is, Luka Magnotta thing. Don't fuck around with cats. Like there's a plenty of cases where it's very beneficial. But again, that's where the difference between staying informed and inserting yourself into something you really don't understand fully. And the difference between that, I think, is empathy and ego. And I think the healthiest place to land is somewhere in the middle. Be aware, be thoughtful of what you say, be careful of naming people, be cautious about certainty, because again, behind every trending case is a real family. Behind every viral theory is a real person, and behind every comment section is a ripple effect that doesn't disappear when the trend fades. There's tons of rage bait accounts out there that just say stuff that piss people off. There's tons of things that give false accusations all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like after digging into all this, I don't think the internet is the villain again. I think I've always been a tech person. I'm an IT. You know, I think the internet and all that stuff is very powerful, and power without reflection or without consequences can cause a lot of damage. So maybe the question isn't should the internet investigate crimes? It's maybe the better question is how do we stay human, even though that sounds kind of generic. How do we stay human while doing it? Because justice matters, but so does restraint, you know? And that's all I have. I have a final question, so after everything we discussed, do you feel more confident in online investigations or more cautious?
Like me doing the investigating or reading other people's investigations?
Just online investigations itself, like reading other people's stuff.
I'm super cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people have opinions that I don't. Like if we're watching the same thing, they interpret something totally different from me. So I can't really. I gotta take a step back. I can't trust too much.
Yeah. No. Valid. That fair. Geisha. If a case goes viral tomorrow, what kind of participant do you want to be?
An observer.
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 Observer? Am I saying it
Observer.
right?
Like funny?
Observer.
Observer.
Yes.
Not
Observer.
observer.
A sherbert.
Observer. Okay.
I don't want to mess with anything. I don't want attention. I don't want to make accusations.
Yep.
All I want to do is connect the dots and be like the Tylenol one. Like, hey, yeah, we joke, like we figured it out. It's all connected.
In our circle.
In our circle,
Yeah.
right? Like it makes sense. Me and Azlee were on the same page with it. I don't remember if you were or not, but we were. But then that's just our circle, right? We're not gonna go out into the world and be like, I solved it. So this is why I solved it, and this is connects to this, and this is this. We're not gonna go beyond like, oh, just joking,
Just
we
in
solved
the
it.
house
You know?
type stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to dabble in anything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I got. I feel like this episode was pretty good. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's educational.
Very educational.
Very, very, very
It's not,
educational.
it's not saying it's bad, but it does need to be, guided.
Guided.
But that's all I got. Do you guys have anything to add?
No.
Oh yeah. You have to do your thing.
You have to do the thing.
You have to do the
You
thing.
haven't been here so long.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Keep grinding those levels and finishing those side quests. Until next time.
As always, this has been Co-op Chronicles with Pint-Sized Geisha, Black Label, and me, Azlee.
Bye.
We gather round the mic, tales of knights and dice, gaming worlds collide, hobbies come alive. Azlee and Geisha chat, Black Label's where it's at. Movies and stories told, secrets to unfold. Co-op Chronicles, come and join the ride in a world where fun resides.